Hey everyone, in this video I have yet another garage unboxing to do. This is an older one from, I suppose, the 90s. I'm not sure if there's going to be a, well, it should say somewhere on the bottom perhaps the year that the copyright is. But this is called Service Center and Two-Level Garage. I would consider it probably a 90s set. And before I, misspeak, let's just take a look and see if I can find a copyright date. I actually am having trouble finding it. So let's see. Yeah, I don't see one actually. I'm just gonna say this is a 90s set though, because this is a set that I remember when I was a kid, actually. They used to sell this at, not really like any of the main stores. They used to sell this at like Shopko stores, or I should say similar sets as this at Shopko stores. Like literally the same exact, like design and same pieces and everything. Although I remember a slightly different variation that had less stickers than are pictured here, and it also had some cardboard cutout pieces that would go in some of these places. There was one that would go up here, then one down here. This one doesn't appear to have any of those cardboard pieces, but it has a lot more stickers. So just a slight different variation. And this also has a Rite Aid sticker on it. So I got this on eBay, and just wanted it for the nostalgia. Wanted to take a look at this set again. And so this was apparently a Rite Aid version, but there were different slight variations that were sold elsewhere as well. So, but anyways, what do you have here? Basically, it's kind of just a basic off-brand garage playset for die-cast cars. It comes with 5 of them, as you can see there, and they are all going to be basically junk cars. They're they're really poor quality. They'll be able to drive around and stuff, but they're not going to be very good quality. I remember that from when I was a kid, and I can see it just looking at them there. But it is what it is. You can certainly use regular Hot Wheels and Matchbox and things on this if you want to. And two-level garage. It's got 2 ramps. It's got an elevator, so it's kind of got the basic stuff. It's got a little car wash, gas station, a service bay here. So it's kind of the typical stuff that you'd expect on a garage set. So I always like these kind of things. It's just kind of semi-realistic, and it's just designed to park all of your cars, drive your cars around, go up the elevator, just all the kind of basic stuff that you would find in a city garage type thing, more or less. And so look over here, you got some thumbnails: car wash, ramp, lift, elevator to level, let's see, make sure that I'm in the camera there. Ramp, lift, elevator to level 1 and level 2. I'll show you very quickly the top, and then one of the sides, and the other side. There it is, and then the bottom here, and then finally the back. And the back has actually it looks like a little bit more decorative of a picture. It actually has a little yellow highlight around it. I suppose that's why, but it does say distributed by Rite Aid Corporation, made in China. So this particular one was a Rite Aid exclusive, I guess. But yeah, like I said, variations of this did exist. So that's what we have here on the outside. So and then interestingly, it also has this little coupon here for buy this toy and any Kodak Flash one-time use camera and get $2 off now. So that should give you some idea of how old this particular playset is. So with that all said, this is a brand new set. So let's see, I want to be kind of careful about opening this. So I'm going to get a knife and cut this open. Okay, so let's see what we got inside. And it says right away, parts inside. So we've got inside the box, we have another box with some of the smaller parts, it looks like. So there are the cars included and everything like that. And then we have the main playset pieces. And actually, as you can see, funny enough, some of the colors schemes are different. You can see you got red and yellow here. And instead, we got red and blue, it looks like. So anyways, let's go ahead and pull this out. I want to be careful because I can feel that there are stickers and stuff in the bottom. I don't want to hurt any of that. Let's see here. All right, let's slowly get this out. All right. And this is actually quite interesting. Because it looks like this is kind of the variation that I, remember. It has these little cutout cardboard pieces. Like I was mentioning, but wasn't expecting because they are not actually pictured on the image on the set here. And the stickers, these are actually going to, I mentioned that there were less stickers in different variation. Well, this appears to be the less stickers variation. So this is exactly what I remember when I was a kid. So we've got one sticker sheet here. And I know, for example, that this is going to go on the elevator right here instead of where it says, elevator on this particular version here. We have an instruction sheet, and my goodness, does this thing look... this thing looks old. It looks almost dusty. So there's that, but it has instructions for how to assemble it. I don't see any, I guess, instructions for where to put the stickers, actually. Again, there's just a look at the sticker sheet. So I'm going to have to kind of improvise this a little bit because it doesn't appear that, it's going to tell me where these go. Let's see if there's anything else here. We do have another cardboard piece here, but I'm not sure if this is actually for anything. Maybe it is. Well, I'm not sure. Let's see, I gotta maybe carefully pull some of this off. See, the way that they put this in the box is these pieces are actually kind of connected, and you have to disassemble them and then reassemble them with some of the smaller parts. So I'm gonna kind of take some of this apart and we'll take a closer look. All right, before I get too far, I wanted to open up this parts inside box. So this is gonna be my first time taking a look at what's in here, and we've got another cardboard piece. And then interestingly, it does come with this little very cheap plastic mat that I wasn't expecting. I can't quite remember this from when I was a kid, but apparently it was a thing. So, very cheap, and yeah, it just is included. So, and then we got the bag of pieces right here. So that's all pretty self-explanatory stuff. And then last but not least, we have the car wash piece right there as well. So, all right, let's see. Maybe I'll quickly show you some of these pieces now that I have them apart. You got one base here. It's got some connector areas here. And so essentially this connects with this, just like this, and this is your kind of ground level area. Kind of cool. It's got a lot of different places to drive your cars, and this actually works pretty well. So there's that, and you got your two different levels here. And that's kind of basically it. And as you can see, there's going to be quite a few differences from what this looks like on the box versus what's in here. But I'm going to go ahead and put this together. We'll see what everything looks like. Alright folks, so that random cardboard piece you saw, that was kind of just separating two of the pieces, is you turn it over and it's like electric drum? I don't know what that's all about, but obviously they just used an extra piece of cardboard for that purpose. But anyway, there's that. Next, let's take a quick look at these cars. And I'll show you just how not very great of quality they are, really. Just everything's very cheap about them, but they do work. So there's that. So there's one, and they're incredibly light. And inside, there's no like decorations inside like Hot Wheels cars have. It's just a flat base. It looks like there might be a couple car seats or something, but it's very plain. This one here doesn't have anything at all. These are all black tinted windows on this one right here. Just says safety on it. It does have a little bit of decoration on the bottom at least though. And then here's this one here. And again, very cheap, but the wheels do spin and work, so at least there's that. This one's actually kind of the heaviest feeling of them all. It's lifted, it looks like. Whether that's intentional or not, it's hard to tell. It looks like it's intentional, but it's lifted, it looks like. So anyways, there's that. So there's the 5 cars included, and then I'll zoom out and show you the little plastic mat that came with this. It's very thin, very thin. You could just easily tear this if you wanted to, but it has nothing really to do with the garage itself. You know, typically when these come with a playset, you know, you could lay the playset on top of it or a portion of it, and some of the roads would correspond with entry ramps onto the playset or something, but that is not so with this at all. This is just a basic, you know, basically like a figure 8 type of, you know, kind of cityscape, if you will. So, I don't know, we can kind of pretend to drive the car around it. It's, you know, something like this is fun for kids. So it's kind of nice that they did include it. I can't imagine that kids that are going to like this are going to be able to save the condition of this playmat for very long, because they're going to just throw this thing around and it'll be in pieces in, you know, probably less than an hour. But nevertheless, this is what it has. Stop at the stoplights if you want. Get yourself a burger. And this is kind of cool. It does have a little gas station here, so you can go in there. Got a few different flags here. America and Canada. I don't recognize the one in the middle. But anyways, and it does have a little car wash over here as well. So there's that. You can pretend to drive into the car wash and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this up. It's not really, well, actually, maybe what I'll do instead is, let's see if I can pick up the playset, and we'll set it on top of it. And let's see, I guess if you're kind of creative, you could pretend like some of the entrances kind of go with it, but they really don't. But you can kind of be creative, I guess, and just pretend. So, but anyways, this is what the set looks like. You can see what some of these cardboard pieces look like right there. We'll just kind of go down like this and kind of just give you a good overall look at it. Here's what the kind of the base looks like. You got your little car wash that works like that. And unfortunately, I just noticed that this little piece here is a little bit broken. Doesn't affect the functionality of it any, but there it is. And then this one I showed you already, that one works really nicely. Got these gas pumps that you can kind of pretend to use. They work okay. And I do have some stickers kind of coming off. These don't stick very well because they're old. And here you got a little ladder, but unfortunately this wobbles quite a bit. I would have to glue this in if I was gonna, you know, fix that permanently. But we do have this little little strip mall type decoration in here with the cardboard pieces, which I actually think looks pretty cool, the way that it is there. So there's that, and then there's another little parking, you know, I guess parking meter, or, you know, like a parking ticket place where you can pay for your parking, as that cardboard piece there. So, you know, even though there's not a lot of stickers on the actual playset itself, they, I guess, kind of made up for it with these cardboard pieces. I don't know, in my opinion, I guess I would prefer the stickers, but, you know, it is what it is. So you can kind of compare and contrast. There's a lot of black here, a lot of unused space, whereas in this image thumbnail here, practically the whole thing is covered by stickers. So they're just little differences, and it, you know, it had like little parking place things here and stuff. So definitely some differences there. But anyways, as far as the assembly went of this playset, mostly pretty smooth. Yeah, I mean, honestly, everything is, you know, was pretty easy to assemble. Obviously, some parts don't fit in super well, like this ladder here, which just, you know, there's nothing really you can do about that except for glue it into place. Everything else is kind of pretty good. These, kind of these stilts that hold everything together, again, if you would glue those together, it would be more of a permanent thing, but otherwise it's, you know, it's easy to kind of just gently lift on this and, you know, something's going to kind of pull apart. But anyways, the features of this, let's just take a look. We'll drive a car in, and well, we'll take a look at the elevator first. Why not? So the elevator, this particular one, I think it needs maybe just a little bit of lubrication in there, maybe to make it spin smoother. You can kind of see what the inside looks like. Even try to spin it a little bit, and it's not super smooth for me. But this is old. This has been in the box for, I don't know, could be 30 years for all I know. 20, 25 at least. So we'll see if we can kind of spin this and bring the car up. I recall when I was a kid having this, it operated pretty smoothly, but again, this is kind of an old set. Probably be better to do this with two hands, so maybe I'll just bring this one to the first floor, put the camera back on the tripod, and then show you this again. So let's see if I can get it to the first floor. You can see this is not very smooth at all, so not a big fan of that. I will say though that the elevator, it you know, aside from lifting it, like if you just did it like this or something, pretty smooth. So here's the car driving through the set. Send it down the ramp, see how that works. Pretty good. Try the ladder. And here we are at the ground level. And this is where you kind of have more areas that you can drive your car around. As far as the stickers go, like I said, I didn't have instructions to go by for where to put these, so I was kind of guessing. Some of it was kind of common sense. Others, like this sticker right here, I just was like, I don't know, it seems like it fits the best right there, so that's where I'll put it. But, you know, these ones here, not sure if that's where they're intended to be, but, well, they seem to fit there, so, yeah, get some gas here, drive around. We'll maybe just park this one here on the repair bay. And with the camera on the tripod, I can try this with two hands, you know, where I'm going to have to hold one on here to get a little bit of leverage. Let's see if I can get this down to the ground. Not very smooth at all. I even tried to put just a little bit of Vaseline up there to kind of lubricate it just a little bit, but not doing a whole lot, so I'd probably have to take it apart and, you know, lubricate it more and do something like that to make it more smooth, because it is just not working good. So instead, you know what? I'm not even going to try anymore. I'm just going to go like this. Let's lift it to the top like this. How about that? It's actually stuck on the top here a little bit, but there we go. So there's that. And maybe we'll just park this car right here. Alright, let's drive another one up to the top. And again, I'm just doing this with my hand because the crank just doesn't want to work very well. So there's that. And then maybe let's try the ramp down here. I gotta say, the ramps, they work pretty smooth. The cars go down them pretty smoothly. So no big issues there at all. That's pretty nice. Maybe we'll send this car through the car wash. Kind of go back and forth if you want. I guess you can kind of pretend to just hold the car there. Do the complete wash that way. And we got two more cars, so maybe I'll just try one going to the first floor here again. See if I can flick the car out. There we go. And then the other one, we'll drive up to the top floor. We'll just send these down from the bottom, or to the bottom. There we go. And, well, this is where you can kind of park them. Pretend to park your cars. There's plenty of room to park cars on this set, which is pretty nice. But, drive them to the bottom. And there we have it. And maybe a few of them go get some gas. Maybe this one drives off. Maybe this one goes through the car wash here. And that's basically the little demo of the set. So what are my thoughts on this set? This old school service center and two-level garage. Well, it's, you know, it's not quite as advertised. I think the look of that one's a little bit better. But this one has its own kind of charm to it. It's obviously the same set, just with some differences in colors and stickers, and comes with this mat and so forth. And these cardboard pieces. The elevator on this particular one doesn't work very well. I think it's just because it's old. I do remember this set when I was much younger, and this worked pretty smoothly, actually. So I feel like a little bit of repair with that, a little lubrication or something, and maybe it'll work a little bit better. But otherwise, the set itself is, it works pretty well, well enough anyways for a budget set. And overall, kind of a cool look to it, just a classic garage look. So, it's not a terrible set. $10 or $15, whatever it was back in the day. Probably worth the money, at least somewhat. Maybe it could be a little bit cheaper than that for having it be worth it, just since it's definitely a budget set. But, maybe it was back in the day on sale at places. So, but anyways, yeah, if you want to buy one of these, the only place to find one of these now would probably be on eBay or somewhere like that, which is where I got mine. You're not gonna be able to find it for $15. It'll be, quite a bit more expensive than that. But at least as of 2025, I've seen a few of them listed on there, even still brand new condition. So these are floating around at least as of 2025. So, anyways, there it was. Hope you guys enjoyed this video review of the Service Center and 2-level garage. And this was a Rite Aid exclusive, this particular version. So there it was. Hope you enjoyed it.